two types of nutritious organisms. You have heterotrophs and you have autotrophs. Heterotrophs, we are heterotrophs. We eat food to obtain nutrients. So we do that by the digestive system. Well, with multicellular organisms, single-celled, they use just the cell itself. But what they do is you have, let's say you eat a hamburger and that contains carbohydrates, proteins, and fat/lipids. Your digestive system will break it down into glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids. And then your cells will be able to use those glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids in order to make your own carbs, proteins, and fats. So heterotrophs like us, also fish and some bacteria as well, they eat food to obtain the nutrients to use for their cells. That's called a heterotroph, and we are heterotrophs. As opposed to autotrophs, they make their own food. They're able to make their own food. We cannot make our own food. We have to eat food in order to obtain the nutrients, those organic compounds and other minerals and other things as well, in order for our cells to use. But autotrophs, like plants, trees, grass, they can make their own food because they have the organelle called chloroplast. And they do this by the process of photosynthesis. So a very important process to know called photosynthesis. And the way photosynthesis works, like we discussed earlier, is that all plant cells, they have a special organelle that we do not have, that heterotrophs do not have, and that is called the chloroplast. So the autotrophs, the plants, they have this special organelle called a chloroplast, and the chloroplast is able to take in CO2 and water. They take in CO2 from the air, and then water, it rains down, so they pick it up from their roots, the water, and again, the garden cells allow the water and CO2 to come in, and these plant cells could take in the CO2 and water into the chloroplast, and then the sun's energy will beat down on the plants, so they need the sun in order for this to occur. They need sunlight. In order for this to occur. You could also have a light bulb as well. And the CO2 and water will then combine together inside the chloroplast with the help of the sun's energy and create glucose. So we have to eat starch. We have to eat, let's say, a burger, a bun, and that has starch, and we break that down into glucose. But plants, they make the glucose. They're able to make the glucose inside of their chloroplast. They make glucose, and they also breathe out oxygen. They also breathe out oxygen as well. We breathe in oxygen. We'll see that in a minute. But plant cells are able to create glucose in their chloroplast. That is by photosynthesis. So you'll see if you put a plant in water and you put it underneath sunlight, you'll see the water will start to bubble, and these are oxygen bubbles. That is a kind of question they do ask sometimes on the Regents. So, hi, this is Donnie Rudansky from Regents Made Simpler. And if you like that lesson, be sure to check out regentsmadesimpler.com, which is in the link in the description below. And you could purchase my full course for just $89 for the upcoming Regent exam. This is the only resource you need to do well on your upcoming New York State Regent exam. And in the course, you will get a 2-part Regents review of all the material you need to know in a simplified version, like you saw in that lesson. Plus, I have video review with visuals of past Regent exams. That is not just me explaining the material. That is also me, as you see in this picture, me with visuals explaining the correct answers and the incorrect answers as well. For just $89, that is less than one typical tutoring session. So you can go to regentsmadesimpler.com. That is in the link in the description below, and check it out. And if you scroll down, you could see a preview of those Regent review courses and the video review of past Regent exams. Again, this is only for $89. That is less than one typical tutoring session, and you can get everything you need to know and learn everything in just 2 to 3 hours for your upcoming exam and do extremely well.